All right, let's be real. How many of you have set massive goals in January, felt super motivated, then by February, it's like the monotony of life has kicked in and you've forgotten all about them? I get it, I've been there too, but let's make sure that this year you don't end up there again. Here's the harsh truth. Goals don't fail because they're too big. They fail because we aren't prepared to pay the price of achieving them. So today, I'm gonna show you the best way that I've learned to set and actually achieve my goals and build an environment that makes success almost automatic. Let me hit you with an uncomfortable truth. Planning feels like progress, but it's just procrastination in disguise. When you set a goal, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical. That's why writing down goals or buying that fancy planner feels so satisfying. But here's the catch. You're getting rewarded for thinking about progress, not actually making progress. And most people, they get stuck in this cycle. That's why 92% of people don't achieve their New Year's resolutions. Only a tiny 8% follow through. The difference? Winners don't get high off the plan. They get results by doing the work. If you're relying on motivation to succeed, then you've already lost. So here's how I've learned to set goals that actually work for me. Step 1. Write them down and quantify them. If it's not specific, then it's not real. I want to get fit is just a dream. I will lose 20 pounds by June is a goal. Now, I know many of you that watch my content have massive financial goals. For some of you, that might be a 6-figure year. For some of you, it's consistent 6-figure months or more. There's no right or wrong here, and I'm a big believer that more doesn't always equal better. It's about sitting down and really thinking about how you want your life to look, not how your parents, your partner, or your friends want your life to look, or even how society convinces you that it should look, but how you actually want it to look and feel each day and what you truly want to achieve in this lifetime. Now, if there's something I've learned having gone from $40,000 a year in my bank job to over $40,000 a week in my businesses, it's that there are pros and cons to every income level, and it's up to you to decide exactly what you want your life to look like, then price it out. Because the reality is, if you don't know what your dream life costs, then you've never really considered having it. Think about it. If you're shopping for a house, like seriously shopping for a house, you're fully aware of how much it costs, from the insurance to the property taxes to the closing costs. But if you have goals on your list and you haven't actually priced them out, then there's very little chance that you're ever actually going to have them. So don't just write out your goals, but do what 99% of people will never do and actually price them out. Now, I have a free spreadsheet that will help you plan out your dream life and price it out that you can download at amysangster.com. Step 2. Break it down. Big goals are overwhelming, but if you can't break them down into quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily actions, you don't have a goal, you have a wish. So how do you actually go about doing this? Let's say you have a goal of hitting $10,000 a month in 2025. What do you need to be doing each day, each week, each month, each quarter to achieve this? Now, it's going to look different depending on how you want to hit that goal and what business model you'll pursue to do so. I have another video that I'll link below where I break down the pros and cons of each business model and share my personal recommendation if you're optimizing for cash flow. But I'll use what I know as an example. Let's say you want to start an online business like a course, a community, or a program to monetize the knowledge that you already have without selling it to an employer for an hourly rate. Now, a lot of people think that you can just create the product and it sells itself. And while that would be really nice, that's just not how business works. You need a repeatable sales system that you or people you employ can run each day for you to bring that 10K a month profit in for you. Now, notice that I said profit. That's another thing that you'll want to be very clear on when you're setting your goals. Are you talking about revenue or profit? Now, a lot of business owners flash these big numbers without sharing the profit margin. For instance, my education businesses are high profit, over 85%. But my software business, I take absolutely $0 from, and we reinvest everything into the business to continue to grow it. Because the value of that business is long-term versus short-term. And once you've decided on your sales system, then it's a simple numbers game, which you can reverse engineer to ensure you hit your goals. For example, within my program Rise, which is designed to help you hit those consistent 10K months, I've done all this for you. You just plug in your income goal and it will tell you exactly the input required to get the output that you want and give you a day-by-day schedule to ensure that you hit this within 90 days. Success isn't magic, it's math. It's a numbers-based system, which is why it works. So you need to treat your goals the same way. Get specific, then reverse engineer them down to simple math and add it to your calendar in daily, weekly, and monthly increments. Step number 3, make it measurable. It's not enough to say, I want to be successful or I want to grow my business. Success means different things to different people. So you need to define what it means for you. Ask yourself, what does success look like in numbers, dates, or specific outcomes? For example, if you want to grow your audience this year, don't just say, I want more followers. Set a specific measurable goal. I want to grow my Instagram to 50,000 engaged followers by December 31st. Now, here's why this matters. What gets measured gets managed. Without clear metrics, you have no way of knowing if you're making progress or you're falling behind. Vague goals lead to vague results. Clarity isn't optional, it's essential. And if you can't measure your progress, you'll lose motivation, doubt yourself, and probably give up. But when you see the numbers move, whether it's revenue, fitness metrics, or milestones, it keeps you on track and focused, and damn, it feels good. Step number 4. Know the price. Every goal has a price, whether it's time, energy, focus, or sacrifices. And if you don't know the cost, you're setting yourself up to fail. So let's say your goal is to build a $10,000 a month business. What's the price of that? You'll need to invest time into building the product, learning sales systems, marketing, and likely sacrificing some nights out or Netflix binges to get it done. But here's the kicker. If you're not willing to pay the price, the goal isn't truly yours, and that's totally okay. But you've got to be honest with yourself. When I first got started on YouTube back in 2012 and my videos went viral, I got a lot of love, but I also got a whole lot of hate. And what that taught me is that the price of reaching a lot of people with my content and with my message is letting go of the fear of being perceived by other people. When you truly think big and go big, you must let go of trying to control what other people think of you, because it's impossible to be liked by everyone. You can be the juiciest peach in the world, and some people still just don't like peaches. So if your goal is to start a business or start creating content to impact a large number of people, just know that the price of that is that you must let go of the fear of being seen and perceived. I've worked with so many people who say that they want to go big, but then they stop posting or promoting as soon as they face one keyboard warrior saying something negative. That's because they weren't prepared to pay the price of that goal. But knowing the price ahead of time allows you not to be blindsided or emotionally affected by it, and continue on consistently so that you can experience all the incredible positives that come with that goal as well. Dreams are free, goals are not. Think about it like this. If you wanted to climb Mount Everest, you'd research the costs, the gear, the training, the guides, the time off work. And you wouldn't just show up at the base of the mountain and hope for the best. Your goals work the same way. If you don't know what it's going to take to actually achieve them, then you're not climbing, you're camping at base camp. The solution? Write down the sacrifices you'll need to make for each goal. Whether it's less time scrolling on your phone, spending money on education, or maybe waking up earlier, know the cost up front and commit to paying it. Here's the truth. Your environment will make or break your success. Think of it like trying to get warm. If you're in a freezer, it doesn't matter how hard you try, you're going to stay cold. But if you're in a sauna, it's automatic. Now, your environment's made up of the people you surround yourself with, the spaces that you work in, the habits you allow to stay in your life. If you're constantly around people who distract you or don't share your goals, you're in a freezer. And it's almost impossible to outwork a bad environment. Want to grow your business? Hang out with people who are also scaling businesses, not people who complain about their 9-to-5 jobs. Want to get fit? Join a gym or find a group of people that prioritizes health. Your environment should align with the person that you're trying to become, not the person that you're trying to leave behind. And here's the best part. Once your environment supports you, success becomes easier. Like I said earlier, it's trying to warm up in a sauna versus in a freezer. In the sauna, you don't even have to try, it just happens. That's what the right environment does for your goals. Now, this is one that I took pretty seriously. At 22, I moved from Australia to the US because I wanted to be around people who would push me and help me grow. Then again, in 2018, I was living by myself in Florida, and while my business was growing, I'd just gotten out of a breakup and I was pretty lonely. So I joined a business mastermind and got invited on a trip to Hawaii with random people that I'd never met before. Now, as an introvert, it definitely wasn't comfortable committing to flying to Hawaii alone to stay in a house full of people that I'd never met before. But I knew temporary discomfort was the price I had to pay to meet my new circle. To date, it is one of the best decisions I've ever made because there I met a group of people who were all pushing to reach the next level and shared the same values as me. And when I was there, we all discussed the idea of moving to LA to be closer to one another. So when I got back to Florida, within 3 weeks, I moved across the country to LA to put myself once again in the right environment. Once I was out here, those people turned into some of my closest friends and Hunter into my partner, and also people that I'm now partnered with to build our software company Member Up. And none of that would have happened if I'd chosen what I knew and what was comfortable, which was Florida, over what I knew was in my highest good, wanted, which was moving to LA. So I want you to take 10 minutes to audit your environment today and write down, number 1, the people, places, and habits that support your goals. Number 2, the ones that are holding you back. Then make a plan to change anything that's pulling you off course. Now let's talk about values, because here's the thing. If your goals and your values aren't aligned, you're never going to follow through. Your values are your internal compass. They guide every decision that you make, especially when things get hard. So, for example, let's say your goal is to grow your business and it's 8 p.m. on a Thursday night. You plan to spend the evening working on your new marketing strategy, but a friend texts you and says, "Hey, come out for drinks. It's been forever." In that moment, your choice reflects what you value more, your business growth or your social connection. And there's no judgment here. There's not a right or wrong answer to this. It's about being honest with yourself. Your values determine your priorities, and your priorities determine your outcomes. If your values aren't clear, you'll default to what feels good in the moment, even if it sabotages your long-term goals. But when your values align with your goals, those tough decisions become so much easier to make. By the way, if you're not clear on what your values truly are or what someone else's are, don't look at what you say or what they say. Look at your actions. Actions never lie. You will always be able to tell what someone truly values by their actions, not their words. Someone might say they value their health, but if they consistently skip workouts or order takeout every night, their actions reveal the opposite. Words are intentions, actions are priorities. And this applies in your own life too. If you keep saying that you value growth, but you're spending your time binge watching Netflix instead of learning or building, it's time for a reality check. The gap between what you say and what you do isn't just procrastination. It's a reflection of misaligned values. So the next time you're unsure about your priorities, don't ask yourself what you want to value. Look at where you're spending your time, energy, and resources. That's where your true values live. So here's how you break out of the dopamine trap. Stop chasing the high of the end result and start falling in love with the process. Instead of waiting to feel accomplished when you hit your big goal, reward yourself for the small wins that lead to the big results. Completed your first week of workouts? Celebrate that. Hit your daily outreach target in your business? Post your first YouTube video? Give yourself some credit. Motivation is for amateurs. Consistency is for pros. The people who succeed are the ones who keep going, even on the days where they don't feel like it. So let's take everything that we've talked about and put it into action. Here's what I want you to do right after this video. Firstly, write down your top 3 goals for 2025. Be specific and measurable. If it's not crystal clear, it's not a goal, it is a wish. Number 2 is price them out. Write down exactly what achieving those goals will cost you in terms of time, energy, money, and sacrifices. And be brutally honest with yourself. What are you willing to give up to get what you want? And number 3, audit your environment. Take a hard look at the people, places, and habits in your life. And ask yourself, who and what is helping me move closer to my goals? Who and what is holding me back? Write it down. Very few people achieve success by accident. It's about creating an environment that makes winning inevitable. Step number 4, make a plan to fix the gaps. If your environment isn't supporting you, change it. If you're missing accountability, find it. Success doesn't have to feel like a battle when you set yourself up to win. The difference between people who talk about their dreams and those who actually achieve them is this: action beats intention every time. Here's the challenge. Take 10 minutes to complete these steps today and don't wait. Clarity and momentum are your biggest advantages. This year doesn't have to be another year of unmet resolutions. This is your chance to get clear, take control, and make it happen. Just remember, success doesn't come from setting goals. It comes from becoming the person who can achieve them. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what's your number 1 goal for this year. Let's make this one our best year yet, and I'll see you soon.